It's good. I have a problem. I live in a minivan, if you're not familiar with my situation. I've done so for about 2 years now, I think. And I'm doing it just because it's the only way I've been able to not fall really far behind financially. This economy is crazy, and I don't know how a lot of other people do it. Well, I do. Some people just have parents with money, and other people are homeless. Anyways, I'm just like, normally I've been trying to make positive videos, but I'm feeling really discouraged right now because I'm starting to smell that like moldy, mildewy scent. I can smell it in my minivan, but I can't find it. I did a quick search, and it's just really frustrating because it's not good for your health, and it sucks knowing that I'm living in this minivan that is growing increasingly toxic, and there's not a lot I can do about it. There are some things. I need to get a damp rid container. My dumbass didn't have one in here before. I should have. Just those things that they have some sort of compound inside that absorbs moisture. So I should have had one of those. And I do need to just do a deep fucking clean. But the problem is, I don't know when I'll have a day off next. I work 2 jobs, which I'm thankful to have that opportunity because I'm not really making a lot of progress in life. Even though I'm living in a minivan, I'm still not really making progress. And so having 2 jobs, I've only been doing that for about 6 months. I've slowly started to like turn the wheel of momentum into my favor, but I'm probably gonna have to be hustling for another few years. But you can't hustle if you're not healthy. And so I don't know when I'm gonna have a day off where I can just dedicate some good. Oh, also, it has to be a day off with decent weather, because it's kind of pointless to try and clean up a mold issue in the downpouring rain of Pacific Northwest. So I need to have a day off with decent weather that I can just like take as much of my stuff out as possible. Thankfully, I have a storage unit, so worst case scenario, I'll take a bunch of shit out, put it in my storage unit, then go do a deep clean, then go back to my storage unit and put all my stuff back in. So it's not everything in life is just like there's an extra degree of difficulty to it when you live in a minivan or in a van, or when you a truck, a camper, whatever. Like everything is just a little bit more difficult. Even like taking a shower. I have a Planet Fitness membership, really cool, because you can go to any club if you pay $30 a month. However, where I'm like located, where I work, both of my jobs are about 20 to 30 minutes away from the nearest Planet Fitness, and that's without traffic. And it's Seattle, so there's almost always traffic. So even a simple task of like taking a shower becomes an obstacle when you live in an alternative lifestyle like this. And I am kind of sounding grumpy and pessimistic right now, and I realize I shouldn't, but you can't always be positive. Even if you just can't always be positive. I can't ruminate in this, I can't stew in this, I can't like just let it linger for too long, but I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna be just honest. I am currently really not appreciating van life. And I'm really discouraged by the fact that if I were to go try to find a room to rent, I would be pretty much guaranteeing myself that I'm not gonna build any savings. So I have to choose between wanting to build a savings or having a place to live that's not moldy and that I have access to a shower and a safe place at night to guarantee where I'm going to park, to not be woken up by knocks on the window. And thankfully that hasn't happened too many times, but it's always in the back of your brain when you live in your vehicle. It's hard to fully decompress because in the back of your brain you might be smelling a little bit of mold and mildew, and if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, it's like, what the fuck can you do about it right now? Nothing. Ugh. Sorry. I'm a little negative today, and I need to get it out. This is a lot to ask, but it would just be really nice if I could find a place to stay for a few months. That would be really affordable. Like, how about I just mow your lawn and do some other housework, and then you let me stay in a room for a few months? I would like a break from van life, but I I I I don't want to go back to being broke. I literally don't know what to do. I have a master's degree in business administration. My bachelor's degree was in finance, but I quickly learned that bankers are mostly just criminals, i.e., look at the files that are being released. And it's not just bankers, it's, corporate executives and the government officials and lobbyists and all those people that have constructed this unnecessarily rough economy. It really, this scarcity is totally manufactured. And if you watch any of my other videos, and if you go look at the link in the description, you'll see my shirts. I'm very much an advocate for the working class. But the social engineers, as I call them, have so very successfully divided the population that there is no quality representation for working class people in America. Everything is just this woke garbage nonsense, or this stupid Christian nationalist counter dialectic. I hate the culture wars, because that's all that it is it's a dialectic, an intentional dialectic to divide the population, and people are falling for it. And it's hard not to be bitter when I'm struggling so much financially, and which leads to like physical struggle. I'm in pain, so much pain. I try not to talk about that too much either, but like everything hurts. My head currently hurts, my jaw, my shoulder, my neck, my back, my hips, my knees, but we have to push through because I don't know what else to do. But I pretty much have to choose like a little bit of comfort or savings. I'm not asking for a ton of comfort. I'm not asking to go on luxury vacations. I'm not, oh man. I'm sorry about this video. It's just rambling, me being a negative Nelly. Ultimately, challenge. This is just a challenge. This is just an opportunity to grow in my patience and in my perseverance. I had noticed over the last few months that a lot of people in my little group of conscious community friends, awakening friends, a lot of them had been going through some things in their lives. And my life hadn't been great, but I hadn't been going through any things, and so I was thankful for that. But I knew eventually I would have to go through something, and here it is. I take my health, or I try to take my health pretty seriously. There was a point in my life where I wanted to just fucking kill myself because I was in so much pain, physically, mentally, spiritually. And then I endeavored to make changes to improve that situation. That's why if you watch my other videos, and I talk about I need to spend thousands of dollars addressing my teeth, to help with my airway, and which will then help with my whole rest of my body, my posture, my shoulders, everything. That's a ton of fucking money. And that's one of the biggest reasons I decided to move into a van, was because I was like, I want to invest in my health. And the only way that I'm going to be able to invest in my health is to live in a minivan for a few years. And ironically, that's the right time to use that word, my van is now a source of unhealth for me, and I don't know what to do. So I'm going to ask the universe for help, and then ask my Facebook friends for help, and just push through, because that's all we can do. Thank you very much. Much love.